Huh. Alright, well, good morning, guys. Watching F-Tech here, kind of making this triangle. For some reason, my funds did not settle from Monday. So I don't have a whole lot to trade with, but let's see here. Just starting to try to break that downtrend there. Break over $2 possibly. I'm gonna go. I'm only going 50 shares because that's all I can afford. Because my funds didn't settle for some reason from Monday. So let's see if we can break $2 here. There's a lot of resistance, but they're getting taken out pretty quick. It may pull back down to the 9 if it doesn't break here, but let's see what happens. This is already up 150 cent, but 150%. But we did see yesterday, I think it was GTC that was up 100%. It ended up running pretty hard. Could be the opposite today on this. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if we get the same predictability. We're testing this triangle. That's kind of what I want to see as it break out of this triangle real soon here. Got pretty good volume, 83 million in volume so far. But like I said, it is up 150%. So if it don't let buyers have control, I may have to hop out. But we'll see. Yeah, I should have waited a second. It looked like it was maybe about to break, and I went ahead and hopped in there, but should have waited just a little bit longer. I could have got a better entry. So it would have been a lot better to get in closer to the 9 here. Let's see 170 hold up. Preferably 175. Looks like 180 is trying to hold up as some support at the moment. A lot of buyers coming in there. Try to hold it up. Looking right now, we're above all indicators and above all past chart resistance on the yearly chart. Do have some resistance on the max chart though. Let's see where we got it at. 50. So if we do break 2, looks like we got room to 250. Yeah, 250 is going to be pretty tough, so that'll probably be my profit target if this can break out of that triangle there. Let's see, 180 is trying to hold up. Oh, starting to crack a little bit though. Oh, no, still holding. Still holding. We want to see that hold. Looks like 185 is acting as a little resistance at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot of candles that hit at 185, so that is a little resistance. Needs to break through that 185 here real soon. Don't want to keep getting held up there. Yeah, you can see sellers trying to stack on the 185. What's the float on this? 24 million? Still pretty low float. So we need to get over this 185 like real soon. Oh, it just broke through it right there. Okay. So that's what we want to see. That's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can get up to 2 and test that $2 area. That's where we need to get to. Looks like a little resistance in this 189 area as well. There's definitely going to be selling pressure below 2. I mean, you can see it. It pushed it down here. Didn't quite get to 2 here, so a lot of selling pressure, but see, now we're popping over at 190. A little bit selling at 192. Kind of right where the downtrend line is. Close to it. If this 5-minute candle could close over 190, it'd be a pretty strong close. It's got a minute to do it. See a lot of sellers, some big sellers at 195 trying to hold this down. It's a downtrend. And they're starting to get taken out. There's probably some shorters in this like yesterday's play that are trying to hold this down. And if we do start breaking over 2, we might see a pretty decent pop as those shorters have to cover. Because I'm sure there's a lot of shorters sitting at this $2 area. So we are popping above the triangle. Look at all them sellers at $2, and whew, man, there's a ton of sellers, big orders, and they got taken out very, very quickly. But we didn't get enough volume push to push through, so that's a little interesting. But seeing that many sellers get taken out that quick at $2, if this can test $2 one more time here, I think we'll get a breakout. Buyers can push this back up to 2. And we got rejected pretty hard off of $2. So we may not get that breakout. Yeah, actually, this is starting to crack pretty hard. If it's 9 EMA doesn't hold up, I'm going to hop out of here. Woo! Yeah, I think Shorter's got a hold of this. I'm about to hop out of this. Looks like Shorter's just won this battle. Just giving a second, see if any buyers are going to come in and push this back up. But it does not look like it. It needs to be pushed all the way back up to 170. Yeah, this is looking rough. If this doesn't push back to 170 real soon, I'm getting out of this, because if it can't get back above that this uptrend line there, then it's gonna sell off probably pretty hard here soon. It keeps looking like wants to try to push back up, but I don't know if it's going to be enough buyers. This big red drop might have scared a lot of the buyers out. That third rejection at $2 is pretty rough. A minute for this 5-minute candle to close. It needs to get back over 170 really, really soon. I'm not liking the way this is looking though. Not at all. No trade for you today yet, Epic? I don't blame you, because I wasn't seeing much other than FTEK here making this triangle, but it just got rejected so hard at $2. And I'm pretty sure this is about to collapse out. I'm trying to give it just a minute to see if it's going to pop back above 170. Yeah, I'm not holding it much longer. Like 160 keeps trying to hold up, and I'm trying to give it a chance, but I'm not holding it much longer. Just on this 1 minute, you just see it's just kind of making this triangle down on the 1 minute. That usually leads to a sell-off. Yeah, I think I'm about to get out here. And 160 held up again, but if this doesn't get back over 170 soon, I'm telling you, this is gonna drop. See 159. I think I may just put a stop loss at 158, maybe 157, just in case it all of a sudden cracks. Yeah, because if it cracks below that, then it's done. It'd be like a $20 loss if it does crack, so that's fine. So this is PFMT, nothing. Oh yeah, it looks like it's about to crack right now. The 160 still trying to hold up, but I mean, every single one of these yeah, there it goes. What I was about to say is every single one of these candles tested that 160 support and cannot get over 165. So that right there just shows you there was weakness. So yeah, right there, $20 loss. This thing broke down pretty hard. It was looking good. Looking real good, nice triangle, and then just got rejected hard at that $2. Right, and I guarantee you, like I said, that's where all them shorters were sitting at. That was a lot of those sellers looked at. Let's see if there's anything else going on. But what I was noticing, there wasn't really a lot of setups. Let's see, KNDI, kind of with this weird triangle going on. Like a thick base triangle. Not a lot of volume at the moment though. Very low on volume. Let's see, what was I was watching? Okay, NVIV, that broke down, so nothing there. PEXI is just going sideways. What is the SPY doing? Let me take a look at the SPY. SPY is kind of consolidating here. So the overall market kind of consolidating in these areas. See, that's doing nothing. That's doing nothing. G-Tech selling off. Nothing there. Nothing there. So yeah, like nothing on my watch list really. Maybe WISA. Not a lot of volume on it though. I mean, there's some, but this is just some weird looking patterns on this though on the 1 minute. Especially right through here where every single one of these candle tops. See, that was where real low volume was. But that looks like a barcode through there. I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's see. Let's look at FTech again. See if it's finding support anywhere. Could pull. Probably will pull back all the way down to 140 maybe. Less 150 can hold support, but after that big crackdown, I don't know if I'd want to even look for a position on it. That's the thing, triangles don't always work. Sometimes they break down, but that's why it's important to keep your losses small. Because no matter your strategy, sometimes it just doesn't work. As long as you can keep the loss small though. What's going on with this? Let's see. Merger agreement with Automax. This just came out 12 minutes ago. This could get pretty funky. This could get possibly going pretty low float volume just starting to come in. Let's see. This thing has made some big moves before. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to do that. I just removed my 200-day moving average on this daily chart, trying to get this one thing off there. Let me add that back on there. I did not believe that did that. That was interesting. See, I like a darker red for mine. You know that 200-day moving average is pretty important. Bam. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now we're good. So this possibly might be a possible play, but right now at the moment you're on a downtrend. It's MDGS. We'll put that on the watch list here. See if it starts going. Kind of got a flag forming out of this halt that it had. But not a lot of buying volume coming in. The original buying volume came in right after the press release came out. At the moment, he's got a little bit of selling volume, so it may not do anything. It's looking like one of those days where there just might not be a good, safe trade to take. Even though Monday and Tuesday look good, today is looking a little different. This is how all year has been. There's just not been any consistency. It's like day to day whether or not penny stocks will be hot. It looks like it's gonna crack out here soon. Fix that downtrend. There we go. Looks better. I mean, there's no buyers coming in at all. So buyers must not believe it's worth this price area. See, FPRX. Okay, that gapped up pretty big, but selling off. CYDY was a slow, steady climb, looks like there, but huge float though, and very little, well, not little volume, but not a lot of volume for that big of a float. And you got just a few mid-cap stocks that are just slowly climbing off of light volume. Let's go down through the scanner and see if there's anything interesting anywhere. It's slowly moving straight up, but no volume. East. Yeah. See, FTech still trying to hold that 150 REV. Let's check out REV because I'm not seeing much else at the moment. Oh yeah, nice move so far. Oh yeah, Revlon. I saw this earlier and I was like, I don't know if I really want to trade Revlon, but it actually is making a very nice move. Breaking out of this little U shape here. At this point, you're definitely going to want to wait for some type of pullback. I'll put that up here on the watch list. Keep an eye on it because it seems to be the only thing doing anything. Testing 14 now. I would imagine it'd probably get rejected. Well, never mind. So it'd probably get rejected here at 14. It may have to. Let's see. Is 14 some resistance? No, actually, it's not going to get rejected at 14. There's no resistance there. But once you get up to, let's see, 1370, basically 1475 is some resistance. and then 15. So you're going to be running into some heavy resistance. I'd say by the time it hits 15, it's probably going to pull back. And then maybe look for another little U-shape like this to start forming. But right now, getting the entry now would be sketchy. Why is Revlon preliminary exchange offer results? Let me see what's going on here. Results are preliminary and subject to change. So I don't know. All right, Eric Cartman. Thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know about this PR that's got Revlon moving, but I mean, the fact that it says preliminary and the results could change, that's interesting, but good volume. Nice, good green buying volume bars here, pushing this up at the moment. Looks like it's actually on the 1 minute. Let's see. On the 1 minute, kind of got a triangle starting to form. A little triangle there. See, this is what MDGS is doing. MDGS hasn't quite died off yet. Let's draw this kind of like that. Kind of making a triangle is actually a pretty big triangle. Come back over the Revlon here. Looks like Revlon probably will try to get to 15 here. See, the high of day is new high at 14.56. It may pull back. I mean, the 9 is way back down here at 12. There's some good support probably in that 11. Well, see, the 9 EMA is right there, that 12 area, and so are these candles that hit. So if it doesn't break out to the upside of this little triangle it's forming, it's probably going to pull back down to here. See, FTEX, what is it doing? It's curling over a little bit, but still looking pretty ugly. A lot of indecision candles on the 1 minute there. You can see that crack, that little triangle crack, and pulling right back down to that 12 area. Let's see what the SPY's. Yeah, the SPY's still selling off. They'll just get halted on the way down. Yeah, it looks like it got halted on the way down, so that's really sketchy. MDGS cracking this triangle, so that's the... We're just seeing breakdowns all over the place right now. They'll probably ride down this triangle back down to this 222 area. And not the not a great day of trading. Nothing too hot. One of those days. Let's see some of the news on the SPY. See what see. Georgia Secretary of State announces a hand recount of votes. Interesting. CDC saying if people would wear their masks, things would be fine. Stocks were rallying. Positive corona vaccine. Oh. Interesting. Some weird headlines in there. Some weird headlines. Things are weird. Things are weird right now. MYO. Check it out. Oh yeah, nice little possible play, but pre-market highs at 150, so you're gonna run into that. Did I say 150? I meant 650. I think I said 150. But I meant 650. If I said that, I don't know. This could be one to watch the rest of the day, but I wouldn't want to get in yet because the price right now is way up here in resistance above the 9 EMA, but I'm gonna put it on the watch list, keep an eye on it for a few more minutes. $200 days at 687, so there's not a lot of room really probably for this to run. Even though looking back, this thing has went on massive spikes before. That day it went from 7 all the way up to 34. Hasn't really done much in a while. So it'll move today, but you're not going to be running into a lot of resistance. We're run into it at 650 and 687. I can't make any more trades today. Like I said, for some reason, my funds from Monday did not settle, so I only had a little bit to trade with. And I already took a little loss on FTech, so that's all I could do today. So I'm going to stick around here for a little bit longer on the stream, see if anything happens. And then I'm going to call it a day. Come back, start fresh tomorrow. You can see this MDGS is just riding straight down this line. Got a quick pop because of that merger news, but not doing anything. Revlon still halted on the way down. MYO getting rejected at this pretty much the 620 area where it got rejected at earlier, 618. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think today's the best day to look for a lot of trades. We're seeing a lot of stocks break down instead of move. Got this NASDAQ top 10% gainer and see. That's wonky. Don't like that. Yeah, even the NASDAQ top gainer board is got wonky stocks in it, and yeah, it's one of those days. It's definitely one of those days. You don't want to get gung-ho today. See Revlon unhalted. I don't see much else. Pretty much MY and Revlon are about the only possible plays. So it got unhalted here. It's right at this support. This would be a pretty key area if this if the support can hold. And you see, it looks like it. On the 1 minute. There, yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can see if this cracks below this candle here. See, it's still trying to hold up that support, but this is sketchy at the moment. Maybe you see it, if this can hold up. I'd say this 5-minute candle right here needs to close above that 12-11 area. Pop back over to MYO, see what it's doing. So MYO got some consolidation right now. Looks like it may try to pop up in a second. You kind of got this flat triangle going on. Flat top triangle. Looks like it may start trying to break here. Yeah, it's starting to pop out of that triangle. But like I said, you're going to run into 650. They're struggling at 640. Let's see what happens at 650. Let's see if it gets rejected or if it breaks through. MYO is extremely low float, so if more big buying volume comes in, it can rip. I mean, it's only 3 million shares it's showing. Like I said, we are running into resistance at 650 and 6. That 200 at basically 690. We may see what kind of happened on FTech on its triangle. When FTech got to the end of its triangle and couldn't break, it had a big pullback. This pulls back, it's going to pull all the way back down to $6 probably. Yeah, that doesn't look good. So this is starting to look like maybe another failed breakout. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Draw the triangle there. I don't know. It's a weird triangle. It's weird consolidation. Kind of a double top, but the buyers are trying to push this up. I don't know. It's one of those weird days where predictability is not great. Yeah, see Revlon cracking that support, trying to hold up the 9 now, but like I've been saying, I think it's just one of those days. It's one of those days just not to trade. I'm not seeing anything promising anywhere. We're getting stocks with little moves like MYO. Like this would have been a good entry down here off of the 9. Probably getting in there at that 570 area. Oh, this started popping though. See, they kind of tricked me there. It kind of got me. Because it looked like on that candle it was going to crack down, and then all of a sudden it's popping up. It break over 650 pretty quickly. So maybe this is probably the play to watch. Let's see what happens. It's going to hit this 200 day. See, hitting right at it. 686 was the new high a day. I'll be surprised if it breaks right here. If it breaks over that 200 day at 690 and $7, because that's a little ways off of the 9 at the moment. I think if it's gonna break that, it's gonna have to come back down some and make another little U shape around up and back up into it. You can see this 5-minute candle so far is showing pretty hard rejection off of that 200 day. Yeah, so the 200 day, with these EMAs and why I watch them and use them so close on the daily chart up here is for that support and resistance. But the 200 day is just more information. It's the moving average of all the days in the past 200 days. So with that, you have a lot more information. You have 200 days worth of information of price averages averaged together, and that is going to be a pretty good indicator of some support and resistance. You see it all the time. You'll see a pattern like this where the stock pops up, hits the 200, and just gets completely rejected. It's very, very tough because this area, this is 200 day, like I said, 200 days worth of information in this indicator, telling you that it's going to be either strong support or strong resistance. So the less days, the less information you have involved. So like the 9 EMA or 13 EMA, either one you use, this is the green one, it's only 9 days or 13 days depending on which one you're using. So it's only going back a little bit compared to where the 200 days going back, almost a year of information. So the more information you have, the better it's going to be. And a lot of traders use the 200 day moving average as a support and resistance. And you can just look back pretty much on any single chart and see where like right here you see this candle hit the 200 day. The stock had broke above 200 day moving average for a day or two there. Well, actually, you can see especially with this stock, how much problems it has with getting above that 200 day. Like this popped all the way up, but then it pushed all the way back down. It even pushed back down below the 100. And then the next day it gapped up and it was above the 200 for a little bit, above the 200 for a little bit of support. And then it looks like it gapped down, and it at one point it hit the 200 and got rejected, and then it just got pushed all the way back down. And you can see this on any chart pretty much. See, the 200 day here is a lot closer to these other moving averages, so you're a lot closer to a normal average price. And back here you can see it held up as support for these candles all the way across. And then once it cracked below, it came back up and it became resistance. And you can see where it was hitting, and then when it did break back above, it was support again. So the 200 day is just always a strong support and resistance line, pretty much for every single stock, I would say. At least from what I've seen, like that's why. And here you can see it, PSHG, where it gapped up there, or not gapped up, but pushed up, got rejected. So a lot of times, especially when you see a chart like this, or MYO, same thing. When the 200 day is quite a bit higher than the rest of the moving averages, then you usually are going to get a rejection. Every once in a while you might see a big break, but most of the time, you're going to see rejections. You can see on this one, it never even got above the 100 day. It's still below that. NVIV, you can see way below the 200 day moving average. And of course, this is kind of, let's see, what's going on my chart here? It's kind of a crazy chart. Okay, there we go. Am I in max? Let's see. No, I'm in 1 year. This is a weird stock. This thing must have had a ton of reverse stock splits or something. But yeah, like if this was to rip right now, and it's not, I don't think it's going to. I'm just saying if it was to get like a ton of volume and rip, and it ripped through all these indicators down here, and it kept ripping, like the chances of it getting all the way up here to this 200 day and ripping is very, 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 very slim. Now you can see here the 200 day, and this is what you want to see a lot of times, is if the 200 day is below a lot of the indicators, you're kind of bullish. That means your price in the last 100 days, the last 50 days, and the last 9 days were all higher than that total average of the last 200 days. So you're trending kind of upwards. So you can kind of use it for swing trading too in that regard, but it's just a very strong line of support and resistance pretty much on every single stock. So I hope that helps. Hope I explained that pretty clearly. See, I'm just looking for some more examples of. You can see this one right here. It's got rejected at the 100 day moving average. So the 100 day moving average can be pretty tough too, but it's not quite as tough as 200. I mean, you got more information, so. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Like I said, like some people are against using indicators. I don't use a ton of indicators, but these EMAs, these moving averages I use, are not so much as indicators of what the stock is going to do, but more of just support and resistance. Because here's the neat thing: if I was to take this 200 day moving average out right here, and then just look back at the charts and draw my resistance, you can see that 200 days kind of right along that same line of resistance where all these candles were hitting at. So it allows me to not have to draw quite as many lines as well. Like these are going to be automatically on every single one of my charts. So now I don't have to go back through and just draw as many support and resistance lines or look for them. I can just automatically see, okay, that's probably not getting over 560. MDGS, it's above all indicators. Well, right now it's kind of right at the 9, but it's above all these other indicators. And you can see Revlon. Revlon did pop above 200 yesterday, but got pushed below the 200. So that could very easily happen today. It did break through, but a little sketchy there at the moment. Gold and silver on TOS? I am not sure. I would like to know that myself because I do follow gold and silver as I invest a little money in gold and silver, but I'm not sure on that. That's a good question. I would, for sure I know. This is the best answer I can give you of my knowledge. For sure I know there's gold ETFs, gold and silver ETFs, so you could pull those up. So let's see. Here's to kind of get an idea. Okay, so UGL is ProShares Leverage Gold ETF. And that's leverage times 2, and that's UGL. So I'd imagine most of these stocks are going to look pretty similar. Or, well, they're not stocks, they're ETFs. So that's UGLL's chart pattern. Let's look at GLL. Wait. Okay, that's short gold. Okay, so that's short gold. GLL is short. You can see the main chart's going down. The daily chart's going down. And if you're going long on gold, you can see it's the reverse of the other short ETF. It's going up. So, I mean, gold's been going up. And here's the thing. Gold's pretty much been going up for a while. But let me see if I can find some more gold ETFs. Let's see. Here's silver. AGQ. You see silver kind of consolidating right now. It's actually getting a little push today. And then the inverse of silver is ZSL. And you can see it going down there. But those you can kind of use those. And I'm pretty sure there's probably plenty of gold and silver ETFs to look at, and I would be pretty sure that all the bull gold ETFs will all be kind of a similar pattern. So what did I say? The other one was GLL. Is that it? Oh, that's the reverse. So UGL. So okay. So here's UGL. You see it's on the uptrend. This is another. This is Gold Mini Shares Trust. This is GLDM. Yep, same exact pattern. And then Granite Shares Gold Trust, and this is BAR. Let's see. Same exact pattern. So pretty much here's another one, AIU. Same exact pattern. So yeah. So I mean, all you got to really do, if there's not a way to pull up a strict price of gold and silver, but you kind of want to know which direction they're going in, just pull up the ETFs. Silver should be the same way. Every single one should be the same pattern. Not matching gold, but all the silver ones should be the same. All the gold ones should be the same, or at least real close and similar. So that would be the way I would do it, unless there actually is a way to pull up a direct gold price, which I'm not sure if there is. Let me see. let's see, XAU is supposedly the gold US dollar spot price. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, this is the gold and silver index, is AXU. But silver doesn't move quite like gold. So this is kind of interesting. They're together. So this is a index fund. For gold and silver. Okay, so GLD, this ETF supposedly tracks the price exactly of gold, is what it's saying here. But like I said, it's gonna, I mean, gold ETFs are gonna be the same, you know. Any gold ETF is gonna be the same pattern. Let me look here and see if let me pull up a price chart of gold. Actually, here, I'll pull it up over so I can show you guys. We'll see if this GLD ETF is measuring the exact price of gold or not. No, it's not measuring the exact price, because if it was, you can see there the bullion vault. Let's see, that's the 1 week. Let's do 1 year. Although the chart will probably look very similar to the price. Yeah, so you can see the chart looks pretty similar. Gold right now at 1865 an ounce. And then this ETF's at 175, so it's not exactly the same as gold price. But nevertheless, the chart's the same. Moving, you can see it's been moving up over the last year. You can see the 5-year, 20-year. So it's easy to find gold charts and silver charts anywhere else if you're looking for the exact price. But if you're on TOS, probably the best thing to do is just pull up one of these ETFs. So hopefully that helps. Because like I said, I don't think there's a direct way to pull up gold prices on Thinkorswim. If there is, I don't know the way to do it. Usually any commodity, though, there's ETFs for it. Gold kind of in this little consolidation right now. So let's take a look back. Anything else happening? Nope. FTech selling off. Rev selling off. MYO selling off. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me today. I don't see much else happening at the moment. My PCHG here is getting a little push at the moment, but still, seeing everything break down, there's nothing else even if I did have more funds that I'd want to trade. So if you guys have any more questions, suggestions, or ideas, get those in. We'll give the stream about 10 to 15 minutes here so I can answer any of those questions, or if there's anything you guys want to talk about, we can go over, but there's not really any trades at the moment, and I don't think there's going to be. So I give you guys a couple more minutes to get some more of those questions together. If you got them, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So no questions or anything, huh? Nobody want to talk about anything. PSG just barely any volume though on this little push. So I don't know if I'd expect too much out of it yet. That $7 area is going to be some resistance, some pretty tough resistance. You can see where it held a support there for a little while. Yeah, I'm not seeing much else. Looking down through this scanner and then looking at these top Gannon boards. Just not a lot going on today. Let's see, the SPY still dropping. No, the SPY's coming back up a little bit. Actually trying to make a little rebound at the moment. You know, there's still, regardless what some people believe and what the media is saying, the election is not over yet. I talked about this the other day. But the election is not final until all the states certified in December 12th. So I'm just curious if, since Georgia's doing a recount, and from what I saw, I think there was a couple other states that were supposed to be doing a recount. And from remembering Bush and Gore in 2000, how crazy that was, you know, I don't know. I'd say it's highly unlikely that somehow it'll flip to Donald Trump, but until the election is actually called officially by, the government, not the news media. It's 2020. It could be a crazy year. I understand. I understand. I know. All I'm saying is, it's just it's 2020, and as highly unlikely as it is, crazy stuff has happened, and nothing is official yet. As much as the media wants you to believe it's official, so I'm curious to whether or not Wall Street's a little on edge at the moment, because you can see, even though we were gapping up on these days on the SPY, the buying and selling pressure is, these candles are really, really thin candles. It seems like there's still a little bit of indecision. The vaccine, is a good thing, hopefully. That could keep the market going up. I'm just saying, I've always been, don't count your chickens before they hatch, because you never know. You never know. I'm just curious though if that's just this little Georgia recount is. So what's this say? Trading has become cool again. Trading is cool. It has become popular, especially during the COVID lockdown. A lot of new traders came into the market. People looking for ways to make other money. I'm not a victim to the bogus fraud claims. I don't know if I've ever said this before on my channel or not, because I know I don't like to get political, but I am libertarian. Okay, so I was not really for Trump or Biden. So I'm not being a victim to fraud claims. All I'm saying is, I just, until everything is official, that's the point to where, then I'll be like, okay, like I said, it's highly unlikely it'll flip. But until they say officially, until the government says officially, not the media, because the media doesn't do anything. The media just says their own opinions. So until it's actually official by official people, I'm just not going to count my chickens. No, I'm not letting anything sway my mind. Like I said, I look at all sides. I look at all perspectives, and I kind of form my own opinions from that. I just don't believe the government should have too much power. That's why I'm libertarian. Humans, there's a balance of good and evil with humans, and giving a small group of people more power, like a lot of power over other people, eventually will end up bad. While it can start out with good intentions, at any time people can be corrupted. And to me, just giving them too much power is just not a good idea. And that's just kind of my political beliefs. And that's kind of why we're in the situation we're in right now, where we got these crazy elections and all this crazy stuff. But the news media, the big mainstream media, I'll just tell you, from watching all sides. Like I said, I watch all sides to try to get a good idea of what's going on, and the news media is not very honest. They will have you believe what they want you to believe, because they've got to compete. They got to compete. So I'm just reading your comment there. I don't want governments to go away. Just there's a misconception that libertarians don't want any government, and they are anarcho libertarians that are anarchy. But that's the thing with libertarians. There's a vast spread of different types of libertarians that believe different things, but all kind of have the common uh, idea that the government just should not be too powerful. They shouldn't be making too many of decisions for the people. People should be making the decisions. So, um, and I just forgot what I was saying before that. I don't even know what I was saying before that. I think I was talking about the media, the media, the mainstream media, and this is oh yeah, like I said, they're competing with YouTube, they're competing with Netflix. The internet changed the dynamics of news media and journalism, and I can attest to this because I'm a part of social media. I get paid for ad revenue and stuff. And when you're learning about YouTube and how to do your YouTube stuff, the best thing you can do is try to make the most clickbaitiest titles. Because if you do the clickbaitiest titles, then you're going to get the most people to click on it to try to get the most ad revenue. So the news media has recognized this, and they're doing the same thing that YouTubers are doing. Like Fox, CNN, all of them. They are now reporting like YouTube channels would do their YouTube videos. So I'm just being honest with you. You are correct. You are correct in that. What you said about social media information sharing conspiracy nonsense is far greater liability than professional media institutions, except for the fact, because I'm telling you, the professional news media, these mainstream media outlets, they have to compete with YouTube and Netflix, so they have to do the same thing that these YouTubers and social media news outlets are doing if they want to compete. Their ratings were terrible there for a little while because nobody was watching basic cable. They're watching Netflix and YouTube and all that stuff. The majority of people don't really watch cable news that often. So they're having to do what they've got to do to compete and stay relevant in the market. And freedom of press allows the news media, and that's all news media, including social media, it allows people to report however they want to. It doesn't have to be factual. So you'll see a lot of biases from all sides in all the different media, and you'll get 20 different stories about the same story. It'd be like, there's a cat that walked across the road and checked the mailbox. Well, after 20 different news media gets a hold of it and they're all trying to compete for that story with these clickbaity titles, eventually it's going to turn into Fox News saying, or CNN saying, that a crazy cat with 3 legs jumped over a moving van that was driving down the road, and it jumped on the mailbox, but there was a grenade in the mailbox and it blew up, and the cat ended up flying somewhere into Alaska. So as crazy as that just sounds of what I said, that's usually what happens with the news. All of it. Social media and media. So like I said, the best thing to do is watch all sides. Watch all perspectives. Even if you don't agree with it, watch it. And then form your opinions after you've watched all sides. And do your own little research to make sure, what facts you're looking at and stuff. It's a weird world we live in. They're governed by law, but they have freedom of press. So the law says, I mean, they can report however they want to. As long as freedom of press exists, any news media can put out false stories if they want to. It's freedom of press there. It's unchecked. So, I mean, there's not really any laws that'll trump freedom of press to where they can't put out whatever they want to. That's why there is a lot of misinformation on all sides, because you do have social media people pushing narratives. You got mainstream media pushing narratives. It's all narrative driven, but it's all clickbait. That's all it is. It's all for, it's all for money. All of them. Every single one. Every single news. Whether you watch Fox, CNN, or you watch Tim Pool or Vosh or any of the YouTubers who are on the different sides, it's all for money. It's all for that ad revenue. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not the one conflating. Okay, the one that's conflating is the news itself. They're conflating opinions with actual news. I'm I'm not conflating it at all. I agree with you that there's conflation, but the conflation is on the news media. They're the one who's doing it, and the social media. The opinions and the news are being combined together. I mean, when you see, was an example of, I saw the other day a mainstream news media, an anchor saying some crazy stuff. It was just crazy nonsense, and I was like, wow, I can't believe that they would just say that on mainstream media news, but they were. Just clear biases. And like I said, it's all over. It's not one side or the other. It's all over. But that's where the conflation is. The conflation is on them. They're the ones conflating opinion with facts. That's why you see cherry picked facts. You'll see a little fact there, a little picked fact, like, oh, here's my opinion, here's my story piece. I have a fact. So there, believe it. And they will leave out other facts that may change the narrative of the facts. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but I'm telling you, it's all for the money. There's very few, if any, really recently that I've seen of any news that is not biased one way or the other. Like I said, I watch all perspectives. I watch it all to kind of form my own opinions. And if you're not blinded by your own bias, which, like I said, I'm not, because I'm not on one side or the other, and I watch it all, then you can clearly see the biases for each news station and whatever they do. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff that has happened. But that's just my thoughts on it. I mean, there's nothing really else going on in the stock market right now, so I was just trying to figure out something else to talk about. Because, I know a lot of people left. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. And see, this goes back to my belief of why I'm a libertarian, of why I don't think the government or anybody should have too much power over other people, because you see, even like you're saying, the last decade has done irreparable damage to truth telling. The current dynamic Well, that just shows because news is just news. It's the people behind the news that are either good or bad, and in their own perspectives, they may be thinking that they're good, and in other people's eyes, they may be bad. But you always have this dynamic with human beings of bad and good, and perspective wise, whether or not they think they're doing bad or good compared to what other people think is bad or good. So by giving people too much power, like kind of like the media has, where we're talking about this damage that's been done, uh, I don't want that in the government. I don't want too much power in the government where the bad of people, uh, like I said, it's perspective. Some people think they can be thinking that they're doing actually good. They can think they're justified in what they're trying to do, and in another million other people's eyes, maybe they're not justified. Maybe to them they look like the bad guy. But that's the dynamic. And human beings are too complicated and too easily swayed to give them too much power. It's like if you look back in history at most leaders, a lot of them were swayed or corrupted or thought they were doing the right thing, and it probably wasn't the right thing. So, that's the thing. That's the argument I present for anybody who is going to argue that the government should have more power. It's because the government's nothing but people, the media is nothing but people, and people are subjectively good or bad. So you want to keep that balance, the yin and the yang. Like the yin and the yang have been around for thousands of years, at least I think. Some form of it, I would say, at least. And that balance of good and bad of humans is always going to exist. So, just my thoughts on it all. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not being swayed by any of the fraud claims or any of that for the selection and stuff. All I'm saying is, from the law, from the way the system works, nothing is over until it's officially over, no matter what the news media says. The news media can say whatever they want. They got freedom of press. So like I said, it's highly unlikely it would flip to Trump. Until anything is official, then it's hard to say for sure. And I am not one to count my chickens before they hatch, I think is the saying. What's going on here? IMRN. Kind of with a random pop out of nowhere there. See, there was some previous support that held up as resistance here when it broke through, kind of a little U shape, or maybe even a cup and handle if you want to call it that. And getting a nice little move from 8 to 950. That was a pretty big move. It looks like it got halted. Yeah, there wasn't much volume on this before, just a random volume spike. They had positive data from vaccine testing in cows. Yeah, that's kind of weird. This is kind of a funky play there. Though this has ripped pretty hard before in the past. It's above all indicators too, so possibly could keep going. Yeah, you can see the 200's way down there. Got all this other stuff going on here. I can't imagine. See, I wonder. I'm gonna see what phase they're in on these vaccines. I don't really see any. I don't see what phase. I don't know what phase they're in. Let's see, what you got? SI and GC for gold and silver. Oh, it's got a slash. And this is actual prices. Yeah, that looks like actual prices. So GC. Oh yeah, there you go. Good, nice, Big Baller, finding that out, because I was not sure if you could actually pull those up. But you can see it is, the gold chart is just like the ETFs. But I'm going to throw this down here. Throw both of these down here so I can remember those and I can have those, because I do like to follow gold and silver here and there. So very nice. Thank you for that. Nice input. Finding the answer. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Cool. Silver's a little bit more volatile. I've never really thought about trading gold or silver ETFs for day trade, but silver is a little volatile. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a day one day and we'll look through the gold and silver ETFs. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to look at. There is a cannabis ETF. That's Scott's. CW Pharmaceuticals. I think this is one of them. Yeah, MSOS. This is a cannabis ETF. Getting a nice move too. I think when I found this, it was back down here in this area somewhere, about to hit these lows. I should have pulled the trigger on that. I think yellow's another ETF. Yeah, yellow's another cannabis ETF. Kind of the same thing there. Planet 13 still looking pretty good. They're supposed to have earnings soon, third quarter. All right, cool. And then there is gold company stocks you can follow too, and then you can see that's pretty much real similar to the gold chart. Those stocks will follow those charts, so there's a possible way you could trade some of these gold and silver ETFs with having the gold and silver prices up, like on one chart, and then maybe having the ETF down here on two other charts. You'd have to change your configuration a little bit if you have it set up like mine, but you could do it. It's interesting. Something to think about for sure. Let's see, what was that one that was running IMRN? You see, having a pullback now. So, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. We will be back tomorrow. Hopefully, my funds will be settled. I don't know why they weren't settled today, but it is what it is. But you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Till next time.